federal property. He couldn't get back there, safety issues, stuff like that. And now he's in there taking videos of customers. It's a privacy concern. People have got the addresses on their stuff, possible payment information he could be getting.
Okay.
So, I just...
If you guys want him gone.
Yeah, I don't want him.
You want him trespassed?
Or just leave the property.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can't take my picture, I'm in the witness protection.
I don't want to deal with him, I know he's just going to try to put me on the internet. I don't want to deal with it.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Very good.
Hey, sir, can we talk to you outside?
Yeah. Do you know how to talk inside?
No.
I'm
only talking inside.
not quite done with my job, so if you guys want to...
Well, they want you off the property.
The post office
Yeah,
wants me off the
post office
property?
wants
They want you off the property.
So,
For what?
Where you tried to walk around the back of the property, they don't want you in here filming. They want you off the property. So you're more than welcome to go out to the sidewalk, but they do not want you in the building.
We're in public. Is it a crime to be in the... so what did I do in here? What did I do to
they
instigate...
don't want you on the property anymore,
But-
so now you need to leave the property.
But why? Did they say why?
Yeah, because you were trying to walk back behind on federal property that they don't want you back there, and then you come in here and start recording, and they don't want you recording customers and everything else like that.
Now, I did talk with Adam, the postmaster, and... I'm sorry, can I get your... was it... you guys have
Simpson?
badge?
We don't have badge numbers.
Simpson.
Marcinko.
Marcinko. So, there's no signage back there saying I can't go back. I was walking through the public parking lot in the post office. There's no signs back there. You can go back and look. No signs that say you can't walk back here. He came out and said, excuse me, I'm the postmaster. You can't come back here. I immediately said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see any signs. So then he showed me a sign on the side of the building that said no trespassing. It didn't say you can't go back there. There is no signage at all that says I can't go back behind this post office. There's certainly no signage inside that says the First Amendment doesn't apply here. So respectfully, gentlemen, I'm going to have to ask you to allow me to continue practicing my constitutional right to take photos in public. The postmaster here can't throw me out for... Are you trespassing me from the post office?
We can't, he wants you just off the property. He
Yes,
said
no, right. This is public. I'm in public. That's like walking in and he says, oh, sir, you're wearing a MAGA hat. You can't be in here. Tough luck. If I have a camera in the post office, that's my prerogative. I have 2 cameras, in fact, in the post office, and it is my prerogative. It's my First Amendment right to come into the post office and take photographs of anything I see. There's an old saying, if you can see it, you can shoot it. Now, in Texas, they take that a little too literally, but it means photography. There are really only a few places in America I can't take photos. Courtrooms, bathrooms, dressing rooms, and locker rooms. This is none of those. In fact, there's a sign right in the other room there, I'd like to show you gentlemen if you'd like to, that very clearly says I can photograph in this post office.
This video opens inside a United States post office, a federal building, where an officer is attempting to remove a journalist for exercising a right that is explicitly posted on the wall behind him. The postmaster called police because a journalist was photographing inside. The officer's position: the postmaster wants him off the property. The journalist's position: there's a sign right in the other room that very clearly says I can photograph in this post office. Poster 7. A federal posting inside federal postal facilities that specifically addresses photography. The journalist has already found it. The postmaster apparently has not read it, and the officer who is about to threaten arrest has not checked it either. There are really only a few places in America I can't take photos: courtrooms, bathrooms, dressing rooms, and locker rooms. This is none of those. Then the line that names the entire institutional failure. You are law enforcement. You are not feelings enforcement. It's your job to enforce the law. I'm not breaking the law. 3 encounters across this video: a post office, a city hall FOIA request, a 13-year-old handcuffed in the back of a police car. The same question in every one: where's the law that says what you are doing is legal?
So, Unless you have anything else, I will dismiss you.
They want you off the property.
And if I don't leave the property, am I going to be arrested for trespassing?
Trespassing.
So you arrest me for trespassing
Yep.
if I do not leave this post
Yep.
office.
The postmaster wants you off the property.
May I have your supervisor here, please?
I am the supervisor.
So, to be clear, you as a supervisor, you are telling me that if I don't leave the post office simply because I was taking photographs, then I will be arrested. So I'm leaving under under threat of arrest. Is that clear?
Based off of that, the postmaster wants you off, and if he signs a trespass notice and you refuse to leave, yes.
Have him
you
sign
will
the
go.
trespass notice.
Okay, we will.
And I would like to have your supervisor here, sir, because you're making a grave mistake. This is my constitutional right to take photos and videos in public. Constitutional right. It's in the First Amendment, sir. And the fact that you're trying to tell me I can't take photos or videos in public or I will be arrested is an absolute outrage, and it will not be accepted. Absolutely not. So you might want to contact your boss and tell your boss I'm about to trespass a man from the U.S. Post Office for taking photographs.
Okay.
See how that goes over. You're inviting a big lawsuit on the city of Athens. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay.
Big mistake, my friend.
Okay.
I suspect these ladies over here, they agree the First Amendment kind of overrides the hurt feelings of the gentleman inside. You're law enforcement. You are not feelings enforcement. It's your job to enforce the law. I'm not breaking the law. And I'll be damned if I'm going to have you turn my constitutionally protected right into a crime. Shame on you. You took an oath to uphold and sustain the Constitution, and you were here trying to violate my constitutional rights. I will not stand for this, sir.
Okay.
Do you have any other identifying information other than T. Simpson? No badge number, because there's something that you have a card.
We just don't have that big enough department to where we
Is
issue
your
badge
camera recording, sir?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. I'm going to get a copy of that as well.
Okay.
Catch a conversation with Adam in here, who thinks it's a crime to photograph things in public. Unbelievable. You guys got some nerve. Been in this town for 10 minutes. I'm being told I can't take photos in public. Unbelievable. And when I'm done here, you and I can step outside and show me where it says I can't walk back behind this building. Show me where it says that.
Okay.
All right?
So, he does not want to leave. So, would you want to sign a notice of criminal trespass? And then we can, if he refuses to leave again, because you've asked him to leave, correct?
Yeah, I told him he couldn't go around back. If he's happy to stand out there,
Okay, so
That's
if you,
fine.
so if he's out there, he's fine.
sure. He just can't come in here. We're doing retail processes. I got payment information, address, stuff like that.
Okay,
So,
okay, but he's okay.
as long as he's not bothering my customers, I don't care. He just can't come in here. We're doing retail operations.
Okay.
That's supposed
Is there a
to
sign in here that says that he can photograph in here?
It's some federal statute. They got a whole YouTube channel. They literally just drive city to city and do it.
Okay, but he's okay to be in there.
Sure.
Okay.
He just tries to get a reaction out of people.
I know he does. I know he does. But so to be clear, do you want
I don't
him to
want to do that
be
because he's just going to put that online. I don't want to do it. I'm not
okay?
But as long as he stays out there where we're not doing transactions and not bothering my employees.
All right. Well, see, the thing is, so if he's out there, it is what it is.
Yep.
So if somebody's out there filling out paperwork and stuff like that, as long as you say he can be out there, I mean, it's kind of hard for us to enforce something if you're saying that he can be out there. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm more than welcome just to be like, okay, man, I talked to the postmaster. He said just go ahead and you can be out here, but you can't go in there. So it's up to you.
Adam, sir, you are trying to violate my rights.
I'm
You're
not.
robbing the
Listen.
police to do so.
Listen, let's go back out here and talk.
If I don't go out there to talk with you, are you going to arrest me?
Listen,
No, I'm not interested.
they
in talking
don't
with
want
you.
you in here.
I'm not
They
interested in
said you
talking
can
to you.
be out there.
I'm sitting over here being nice and quiet, and I'm going to stand right here and be nice and quiet. And there's nothing you legally can do about it.
Okay, listen, sir. They said that you can go out there and you can film all you want.
Right here. Adam, you might want to read this, pal. It's called Poster 7. Right there on your wall it says I can take photographs and video in here. I'm staying here. You have a copy of that? You might want to call somebody because you're about to invite a serious lawsuit on yourself, my friend. I'm not going anywhere. The First Amendment is more important than your feelings.
You called a ambulance, not the police, pal.
The postmaster says that he can be out here and record. That's all. It's fine. He's just now. They don't want him in here.
Okay.
So.
Nobody come over here with an iPhone. Really? Adam, come on. You got an iPhone, please.
Like they said, you're more welcome to.
They signed the trespassing order?
They want you out here
Sir,
filming.
I
but they
will
don't
dismiss you without further argument. I'm done talking with you about this today. Either get a trespassing order signed and I will leave under threat of arrest, or leave me alone.
Okay. Well.
It's not to find somebody that knows their rights, doesn't it? Unbelievable. You people are something else.
Right, is this?
Come on in. They're trying to violate my rights. You signed a trespass order?
Nope.
Didn't think so. Tell you what, I can make you guys a deal. You will leave, and within 3 minutes I'll leave. You
No,
leave first.
we're.
Are you
They
here for
said-
the long haul?
Huh?
You gonna stick around?
No, we're taking off.
No, you are gonna leave.
Yeah, they don't want to sign the trespass.
You know
notice,
why?
nothing like
Because he would lose his job if he did. And you would lose your job if you arrested me for this. Shame on you. And you know what? Yeah, I do have something for you guys actually. I want to ask you. My name's actually Mike Norton. I'm at KULT News. I'd like to know why you're trying to violate my constitutional rights. Yeah, that's called a walk of shame. Keep walking.
We had a complaint, and we're
Keep
here
walking.
To, we're here to talk.
Yeah, your complaint was I was
Complaint
taking
about
photos in
what?
public. Complaint about what? Public photography? Keep walking. That's called a walk of shame there, guys. You should be embarrassed. Is this what you became police officers for? So you could harass people in public for taking photos? Stimson? You're a lieutenant? You have anything to say about this, lieutenant? Huh? Hey, Stimson, before you head out, you want to show me where the no trespass sign is back here? Because I'm going around back next. You have anything to say?
Right there.
Where?
U.S. property.
Uh-huh.
Right there in the sign.
Yeah? Okay.
U.S. No trespass.
Oh, I agree this is U.S. property.
Yeah,
no
no
trespassing where?
trespassing.
After behind this line? So after this line, I'm trespassing. You're telling me I'm trespassing here, but I'm not trespassing here?
They don't want you back behind the building.
There's no
It says-
sign that says I can't go
it
back
says
behind the
US
building.
no trespassing.
What about the other way? If I go around the other way, you don't want that? Let's have a little fun, shall we? I'm going to go back there right now while you watch. Let's see if you arrest me and what happens to the city of Athens, shall we?
Okay.
Come on. You want to come
Okay.
back with me? Come on. Have
you-
the sign of no trespass order. I'm going to circle all the way around the building, and I'm going to come back here, and you should be gone by then, and then I'll leave. Thank you.
Now the tone shifts. The aggression cools, and a new tactic appears, friendliness. You making a movie? Do you speak English? Small talk, disguised as harmless curiosity, but really an attempt to build rapport, to get him talking, to find any opening. He gives them nothing, not a name, not a reaction, not a single word that could be used against him. Just heat. Again and again, like a wall they cannot climb. Then the officer tries something more specific. Can I just see what you're taking pictures of? Reasonable sounding, almost polite, but watch closely, because this is the moment the mask starts slipping. Reassurance turns into pressure. Pressure turns into an ultimatum. And then it happens, the sentence that changes everything. We're going to confiscate the camera, put you under apprehension, take you down to the police station. A direct threat, spoken calmly, like it's routine. This is the point where most people would break, hand something over, say something they shouldn't. He doesn't. Instead, he invokes his Fifth Amendment right, refusing to speak, refusing to cooperate with an investigation that was never legally justified in the first place. It's a single sentence that flips the entire power dynamic in that moment, and it leaves the officer with absolutely nowhere left to go.
Filming in a publicly accessible federal facility was treated as misconduct because staff relied on instinct and internal comfort. And a posted policy allowing photography sat on the wall, ignored by those enforcing the opposite. When officials act before confirming their legal footing, enforcement turns arbitrary, and constitutional exposure becomes inevitable. Rights don't hinge on irritation, and public spaces don't convert to private zones on demand. This video comes from the Cult News channel. If you support them, leave a number 5 in the comments section.
Who you just called? You say you just called somebody? Yeah, his boss over. I will call him and ask him, can you... go ahead.
My sergeant is on the way over there.
Right.
He's coming from like a couple streets over.
I can almost guarantee as soon as he gets here,
Right.
he's going to tell me to take those handcuffs off. But until he does, I can't.
Yes, you can. You can call you'll call your superior, bro, and tell him right now he's good to go. You know who you pulled over in the car, bro. You know who you was looking for, obviously.
Listen, I understand your concern. I do.
No, man. The concern is you traumatizing a little kid, man. He's only 13 years old. Yes, he is a kid, man. What you mean? That's a little enough, man. What you mean? What you want your child handcuffed, man?
No.
All right then. So let him go. What the you mean? It don't even. He should not be sitting there. Period.
Like I explained to you, as soon as he gets here, we probably do that.
It ain't no problem, man. You should be able to call. You just said you called him.
Okay.
All right. Well, what's your badge number and all that, man? What's your name, man? Petrol. What's your name, man? And you condone this too? You let him just keep him handcuffed?
Yeah, he stays in handcuffs.
All right. Okay.
He's not in the back seat of the car.
Bro, it's you know, have you heard of Fourth Amendment before?
Yeah.
You know Terror versus Hire, right?
Yeah, that has nothing to do.
Yes, it do. He's the occupant of a vehicle, man. Just being in the proximity of somebody, being in proximity of someone else that committed a crime does not mean he committed a crime, man.
Okay.
All right, and that's violence in that's violence of his Fourth Amendment rights, bro. You can't be saying handcuffing no damn kid, huh?
There's infinite case law.
You make that decision, man, when you pull over somebody, bro. You make the decision. You an officer, right? All right, so you don't violate his Fourth Amendment and just let him sit there? Yes, you are. He has nothing to do with your investigation. He has nothing to do with your investigation. What probable cause you have to have that child sitting on the damn car like this, bro?
Why are they able to talk?
What probable cause you have to have him sitting there? Because I'm yelling because it's a goddamn kid on the car, bro.
Okay.
You traumatizing him. What are you traumatizing him for?
I've already explained this to you. I'm not.
Well, you don't matter about explaining it, bro. I know the truth. Everybody else know the truth.
You can stand out here and yell and create as much of a scene as you want. It's not going to change anything.
It don't matter, but we're going to make sure it is going to change something when you be in court. You going down to the federal building, bro.
That's fine. I've been there before.
Okay. So you bragging about that, huh?
Yeah, I've been in fed court.
So okay. And how much you to cost the city of Livonia in lawsuits?
At all, because I follow the law.
So you ain't cost Livonia nothing lawsuit. You ain't got no complaints against you?
Not even a little bit.
I guarantee you got complaints against you. We're going to find out too. Oh, we definitely is. We definitely is. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. He got to sit on the ground. What the hell is wrong with you, man? Bruh, come on, man. This is 13-year-old. You make the decision. You a adult. All right, you make a discretion decision. You supposed to do that. Period, bro. Same, bro. You got this kid in tank for over 10 minutes, man. For what? No probable cause. You need to have a mere suspicion. Nothing against this child. What suspicion you got against him? You don't even know his name.
I'm not going to lay all that out for you.
You don't even know his name. You don't know his name.
I don't need to know his name.
Yeah, okay then. So what the f*** you got him?
It's not going to change the outcome.
It's going to change. No, it's going to definitely change. You're going to see it. You're going to see me in court. You're going to see me right next to him. Period.
Yell all you want in court too, but it's not going to change.
Oh, I ain't got to yell in court, bro. It's called attorneys. You'll see. You know. You've been there before, you said.
Yeah, I've testified in
right.
court because we make federal cases.
Okay. Yeah.
Not because of some bullshit complaint.
No, we talking about lawsuits, man. Federal violation of the Fourth Amendment. This kid is up here sweating and hot outside. What the hell is wrong with you, man? You gotta be, you tripping, man. You tripping, bro. You tripping, man. You don't have no right to detain him, man. No, you do not. He has, bro. Being in the proximity of somebody else who's committed a crime does not make you commit a crime, bro. Because I know the law, man. You see everyone's shit, man.
You obviously don't.
Who is that? The sergeant right there?
I don't know.
Well, he should be the one that can say he can get the on, man, because you got this shit going. This is crazy. Yeah, he's handcuffed.
Okay, well, hang on 1 second. His age isn't on his forehead, so we don't know that right out of the gate, okay? We're investigating our giant narcotics case. So
he look like a child, bro. What do you mean?
Hang on, hear me out. You're not letting me finish. It's also all over the news right now that people of all different ages are up in all different types of crimes. Okay.
A 13-year-old boy?
Yeah, but it's possible.
Bro, you came here for him, bro. Y'all came from Livonia.
Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 second. He's only detained. It doesn't mean that we're not going to take him out of handcuffs.
You know who you came here for, though, Sarge.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay, so why is he still being detained then?
Because I have every right to do that.
No, you don't. That's a 13-year-old child. It's just being in proximity of someone else who has committed a crime.
It's a 13-year-old child. Okay.
Under the Fourth Amendment, being in the proximity of someone else who has committed a crime, he has not committed any crime. You don't even have. You don't have suspicion. You have him arrested right now. You know that, though, right?
Hold on.
What?
How do you know he hasn't committed a crime?
I know he hasn't. He's 13 years old. He has done nothing.
How do you know he weren't?
We all know him, and I'm going to vouch for him in federal court, too.
I can say how I know.
That's how I know.
He literally came and picked him up to go get a TV that's in the back seats or in the trunk, and he literally pulled back up, and that's when we pulled up. We not saying we don't. Whatever y'all got to dealing with his dad, that's your investigation. We gonna
He
let y'all
knows
do what
that.
y'all do.
Okay, but
He knows that.
wanted my little brother
But you
to
still
get
got him
locked
locked
up.
up right now, bro. You a
said we
sergeant.
have
You
to
should
wait
know
for
that.
you.
Yes, I do know that.
All right, then. So why is he still handcuffed? No, he should not be handcuffed. You did your investigation. He got searched. He got searched. What else do you need to know about
Right
him?
now, we're trying to conduct our investigation.
Have him write his name down and let him be fuck go. What the you even got him for?
Hang on a second.
No, man. We're not.
Wait till he get here.
Bro, you relax, bro. We're not finna have this hillbilly ass shit coming out here in Detroit, bro. This is shit, man. You know it is.
You're not.
He's 13 years old. What do you guys plan?
What do I have to explain? Is right now we're conducting an investigation. He's detained for officer safety. I will gladly
Officer
take him
safety?
Let me explain. I will gladly take him out of handcuffs, but he's going to sit in the back seat of a car for the time being.
Why would he sit in the backseat of a car?
I don't have to explain that to you.
He's not under investigation.
Again,
He's not under investigation.
Hang on a second.
So you're telling me you're detaining him without unlawfully?
I'm not detaining him unlawfully.
You just said that. You said you would
No,
put him
I'm
in the back of the car.
No, I'm not.
So what suspicion do you have against
I'm
him?
trying to explain that, but you won't stop talking.
Go ahead.
Okay. He is detained because we've been watching this car and his dad. We have other things in play that I cannot explain to you for officer safety reasons.
No, I said him. I didn't say his
understand
dad. You
that.
just
I know
said
you're
dad
not-
again.
I know, but I just explained that. There's other things at play for officer safety reasons, okay, that I cannot divulge to you. Okay?
Would
Do
you unlock
understand
the
that?
13-year-old?
I'm not gonna.
Please.
Give me a second, and I
Your
will.
partner said that y'all will unleash my little
This is
brother
sounding so
once
childish
you
right now, man. You
pull
sound
up.
horrible
Yes,
right
They
now.
already
Hold on a
checked.
second.
You sound horrible.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
That's why they act the way they do, because of your superiority. That's why.
I just gave you
This is
what
crazy,
happened.
man.
I'm pretty. If y'all was
understand that.
surveilling, I'm
This is
pretty
why.
sure he wasn't at the.
I understand why you act where you act. I understand why.
Here, hang on.
He was, but he don't have nothing to do with.
When you got supervisors like this is why you act the way you act. This is why. This is exactly why. This is why it goes all around the country, just because of stuff like this. When people got people like this.
It has nothing to do with people selling dope, all right? Like, that's okay?
Man, you got a 13-year-old detained. A 13-year-old detained.
This is the moment the video turns from tense to explosive. After nearly 20 minutes of silence, a new officer arrives, and instead of de-escalating, he opens with something designed to intimidate. You know the anniversary of 9/11 is coming up, right? Everybody's touchy. And then the threats stack, one after another. Federal property, federal magistrate, trespassing charges. Then the number that stops you cold. $100,000 fine and up to 5 years in jail. For standing outside a fence, taking pictures of a static display. No crime committed, no perimeter crossed. Just a warning wrapped in fear, delivered like a legal certainty when it's anything but. And here's what makes this segment so critical. The officer himself admits, indirectly, that nothing illegal has happened yet, because all of this is about what might happen if he crosses a line that was never actually approached. That's the entire strategy laid bare. Intimidate now, before there's ever a reason to. And through every second of it, the camera never turns off, never flinches, capturing a masterclass in psychological pressure that has absolutely nothing to do with the law. This is the emotional peak of the encounter, and it ends with silence, because sometimes silence is the loudest answer of all.
Hey, you know who you came to get, so get him and go. But leave the damn child alone. What the hell would you mess with a child for? Yes, I'm blaming you. You are the one in charge right now. You have his father detained, and he haven't done anything. What the f you mean? He ain't done nothing.
He hasn't been but he just walked out of a house where dope is being sold.
It doesn't matter. That's still mere suspicion. That's not mere suspicion, man. You don't have no probable cause. You don't have a reasonable suspicion. You can't even articulate to me why you have this man right here, man. You can't, because you can't articulate it, bro. You can't articulate why you have my fucking nephew up your handcuff. I know you can't. You can't.
I absolutely can.
You cannot articulate it, man. You brought a hunch, a mere suspicion. Out here, man. You know how long it's been? You finna out. You know how long you had them locked? You got them handcuffed like this? You know how long you been handcuffed? This man's over 15 minutes. This ain't no reasonable amount of time. Are you insane? Are you insane? You were definitely. You just never read Terry vs. Ohio. You ever read Mass vs. Ohio? You haven't read any of that before? No, you have not. What's Terry's last name?
Terry is the last name.
No, what's Terry's last name? In Terry vs. Ohio. What's his whole name? All right then.
That's inconsequential.
Listen, this is about to happen.
Because you're a fucking idiot, man. Bro, Shane Livonia. That's crazy. More shame. Wait till everybody see this. Wait till everybody see how long you had this little kid just locked up like this. Wait till people see this. Man, he didn't do nothing. I'm not even talking about, man, I don't give a whatever you mean. You know you came for it. That's my point. And you got a child locked up. He is detained. That is detained, man. Man, you want your child with handcuffs? Where you from, Romania or something? We don't do that in America. Now you want to put him there with dogs? Like, come on, man. It don't matter, bro. He's a 13-year-old child. You put him in there with a f***ing dog. You let him go. You want to handcuff him. That's what you're supposed to do, man. That's what you're supposed to do.
Step back. Mom.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Get away from the car.
You don't even know the law. This is just pitiful, man. What's the Michigan Applied Law then? What's obstructing? What's the Michigan Applied Law for obstructing? Huh?
No, I'm asking a question though, so I can't.
MCL 479. Come on, man. I don't remember off the top of the head no more. But you don't even know the law, bro. This is crazy. You just said some dumb shit like that. That don't even make sense. You don't even know the law for obstructing, and you sitting there talking about obstructing. Sergeant, how much longer is the key gonna be in there? So how much more time, man? Why not? You should be able to make a discretion call to get this kid, a child out of your backseat of a police car, man.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
All right, so make your decision then.
I already made my decision. When everything else is secure with what we else got going on, and our officer safety is taken care of,
New location, new accusation, same playbook. You're drinking a beer. He's not. It's non-alcoholic. He says so immediately, and they say it again and again. 5 separate times, officers insist he's drinking alcohol while holding a bottle that clearly states otherwise, turning a 2-second glance into a manufactured violation. This is where the segment ignites, because he doesn't just deny it, he challenges the entire premise. Why don't you investigate further? You don't know how to read. Then comes the real fight. Not about the bottle anymore, but about his right to simply exist in a public space. Am I detained? For what crime? Questions that should have simple answers get met with silence, deflection, more demands to leave, and then the moment that turns the entire tide. He asks for badge numbers. Not one officer, every single one. Watch what happens next. Hesitation, scrambling. Officers suddenly unsure of themselves, unwilling to give the one piece of information they're legally required to provide. Now you got scrambling like roaches, he says. And for the first time in the entire video, the power in the room has completely, visibly flipped.
Be released.
Officer safety, you guys are all trained officers with guns with a 13-year-old. You talking about officer safety? What are you he already pat him down. He doesn't even have a weapon.
I understand that.
So what are you talking about then?
There's something else going on that we're doing that we don't want him to be released right now.
Oh, he's a kid. He just had nothing to do with what you came out here for.
Afterwards,
you're from Livonia.
Give me a second. Yes, and we're also deputized.
Okay, so you came to get
afterwards when he's
Mr.
Released,
whoever you came to get, right?
Once things are calmed down, I will explain a little more.
You came for a certain person, right?
I already explained it to him.
You came for a certain person?
Sir?
You still have him detained?
Sir, I've already explained to you multiple times.
Well, you go keep explaining, man. That's ridiculous.
I'm not going to keep explaining because I've already explained it.
Well, go about your business then, man. You don't have to explain nothing. You keep getting him locked. Because you have a 13-year-old child in the backseat of your police car.
Okay, all right.
That's why I called you over here, man. Hey, they got a 13-year-old kid back there, man. No, it ain't about momentarily, man. They know what they came to get, all right? Under the 4th Amendment, being in proximity to somebody else who's violated a criminal offense does not make the other person liable for the other person's criminal offense under the 4th Amendment. So my thing is, he had nothing to do with nothing, okay? They came out here, they're from Livonia, so they came out here to pick out whoever they're going to come get. Let the 13-year-old child go. They already searched them. They already did everything they need to him. There's no more investigate.
Just hold on. It'll just be momentary.
How can it be momentary? It's been 30 minutes. He's been locked up for 30 minutes. This is almost 40 minutes now. They had him sit on there. He was almost passing out in the car or looking sweaty and all hot. And they put him in the car, and now he's sitting there with a dog. This is crazy, man.
So yeah, just hold on.
Well, I'm saying, you want your 13-year-old to be in there traumatized like that?
I understand.
No, it's not. Well, talk to him and tell them to let him out right now. It's not that hard.
I can't do that.
How you can't do that? It's a child. It's a 13-year-old.
I understand that, but I can't make them take their child.
No, I ain't say make them do anything. I understand. You can't make nobody do anything. But as an officer, you should be explaining to them that they should be letting him go. Because now, when we go to trial, you're going to be able to stand with him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I mean, but you're going to be on the other side because he's going to tell the truth on you, buddy. You're going to tell the truth. You had this little kid in there for 40 minutes, man. That's ridiculous. We don't bring that Billy stuff out here, bro. You come out with this Billy stuff, man. That's not how it happens in Detroit or anywhere, E-courts especially. especially e-course. So you gonna keep the kid in there and you ain't gonna let him go. You know, it ain't about that's traumatizing, man. He never been no car before. He's a straight A kid. He never been no car before, nothing. They came to get who they came to get. His father was doing whatever he was doing. They came and got him. They arrested him. That's it. The child should be going instantly. He's in the back of the police car. They already got him detained. They got the vehicle. They got everything they need. So they don't need him. That's the point. Yeah. Everything they need, man. They came out here for that. Look, they from Livonia. Of course, they know who they came and coming to get. So what you got to investigate a freaking 13-year-old for? You gonna be the first one on the stand right there. What'd you say your number is again, bro?
Postnagle 709.
Postnagle? You gonna be the first one on the stand, bro. That's for sure. But they definitely know who I am.
This is where everything gets documented, formalized, made permanent. He walks straight to a supervisor and doesn't hold back. Officers accused him of drinking alcohol 5 times, threatened him with arrest for simply visiting a public office, and refused to identify themselves. And now it's all going in writing. Watch the supervisor's reaction as the story unfolds detail by detail, because every question asked back, is the station master's office not publicly accessible? Gets answered in a way that confirms everything the officers denied minutes earlier. Then comes the follow-through that separates this from every empty complaint ever filed. A formal FOIA request for the body camera footage, submitted right there, on the spot, with an incident number attached so nothing can conveniently disappear. This isn't anger, it's strategy. Calm, methodical, undeniable. By the end, there's no yelling, no chaos, just a quiet, devastating paper trail that will outlast every excuse those officers tried to give. Public access was never in question. The only thing exposed here was how easily authority crumbles the moment someone simply asks it to prove itself.